Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kickstarter Pause, powered by the Indie Comics Crowdfunding Report. And I know what you are wondering, what is Kickstarter Pause? And that's a great question, so let's go over here and check it out. So, who wants to play? What is Kickstarter Pause? Well, it is when a guest sits down to watch all the crowdfunding videos we are advocating for and hits pause on a video. Usually, we're going to have people do this. Here, let me do this. Pause, like a pause button. Two, not peace, but pause. So if they want to do that, if they want to put these two up, I have nerve damage in my hand, so I can't do that. I've got a big, nasty cut. I don't know if you guys can see it. See? Yeah, so I can't do that. So basically, do that. This is going to be it. Pause. So when a creator does that, we're going to stop the video. So today, I'm doing it. We were calling it the gong. It's a little bit of copyright infringement if we continue to use that. So I was always looking for a better term, and we kind of came up with it on the fly. All right, so when I do that, when I hit my pause button up, I would, if I were the guest, I would have to explain myself, and I am the guest today, so I'll explain why I hit pause. And I know I keep looking off to the side because I'm actually looking at myself in the corner. I don't know why, so I'll look at you guys. I'll try to be more mindful of that when I'm not reading. This is a very fun way to teach creators about attention span and what works and does not work for videos. Want to be a guest? Comment below. That's right. Our site allows for commenting, so just make a comment. I think we're ready. I think we're going. Sam Johnson, what's going on? John Hendrick, both have Kickstarters coming up, and Austin is on Kickstarter today. We're going to be watching this video. All right. Everyone knows what Kickstarter Pause is. First, of course, because I'm the guest, who am I? I am the Indie Devil. I create tempting tales, and my job is to tempt you with them. And you can read all who I am, all in here. It's on the indiedevil.com or Mr. Andersin's website. Either one works for you. I think I also own MrAndersin.com. For some reason, at first, there was no .com, and I got it later. That happened with Written Sins as well. I apologize in advance for a little bit of coughing. I'm still not over the flu entirely. So join the 6,081 other subscribers on my site by subscribing over here in this little white area and find out who I am. I'm not going to bore you guys a lot, but we are going to start with my Kickstarter. I'm also known as the Indie Advocate, an endearing term given to me for all the advocating I do. But you can become an Indie Advocate by supporting, darn some pledges, talking about Kickstarters, and just supporting creators by going to different indie comic cons and talking about their appearances. And indie comic cons, because don't go to the ones that don't have indie creators. Teach them a lesson. All right, so here's why I'm here this week. I am promoting this. It's a survey to discover your inner kinks and dark desires. Because I'm the guest at this point in the format, we would talk about my project. And I always come under fire when we're doing this, and we're going to switch our camera angle right now so you guys can get a better view of what we're talking about. I changed the actual imagery today because I'm tired of it. I try to play this line, and I try to be honest about what I do, and I try to be very careful with the imagery that I'm showing and all that, but I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of trying to play by rules that no one else is and people kicking me anyway. So if I'm going to go and be beat up, I'm going to be beat up on my own terms. And it really sucks because this is a really important project to me. And I'm going to show you guys the video that I made for it. And no Kickstarter gongs now or pauses.
Today for you guys, I got something a little different. For those who are fans of Barbara Unleashed, you know that we want to have an educational aspect to everything we do. We wanted to take it one step further and try something out for this. So this is called the BDSM survey. This is a preview print copy that we had made to show off, and we've been able to give some people this on the road to get some feedback, and people have loved it. But when I say it's a BDSM survey, people have gotten very what could that mean? What is that? I found that the minute people opened it and flipped through it, they started to understand that this was going to be about them. This is going to be about them figuring out who they are and figuring out what they like and being able to share that with someone in a very non-threatening way, because you just get to fill this out and share it with someone. And of course, because it's part of the Barbara Unleashed brand, it has a lot of information. For those who've never read Barbara Unleashed, don't worry, it has nothing in here that you need to know beforehand. It'll only enhance the story to know the character, but it is not necessary. And we have some stuff that some of the readers might be accustomed to seeing, maybe even some things popping back up, but they're important, and it gives you guys the ability to actually communicate with your play partners what you're into. And on the very back page, there's a place for notes. It's a very unique and different idea. We hope that you come along with us on the journey and get your copy of the BDSM survey today.
So one thing I want to say is this welcomes people to the world of fetish. And of course, here is an image that you can't show on Facebook, even though it doesn't break any Facebook rules. The thing I was told is that it shows side boob. So side boob and too much of her butt here, and too much of her back was one of the answers I got. Because I pressed them really hard on this one, and they actually wound up changing the rules. This is available as a print, but technically, by all standards, this would be fine to show anything. Going by real standards and not rules they made up just to spite me. And it's cool that Facebook felt that they had to do that, actually. I'm kind of tickled by it. But ultimately, this is nothing that's over the top. But to get into the BDSM the right way, you have to have understanding. Understanding of not just what you want, but what you could be doing to other people. While I call it a survey, it's a hybrid book because it has a lot of information that's important. If you're brand new to this, or you're seeking to have some fundamental knowledge of doing something more exciting in the bedroom, maybe trying something that you've seen, maybe you want to get into bondage, maybe you want to get into spanking, maybe it's, people are curious about it. And it's okay to be curious. It's why the top of our screen here on our image, it says, and this is very important, I'm going to reload so we can see that. It says right here, it's okay to be curious. What's your fetish? Explore your kinks. It's okay to be different. It's okay to not be the same damn person and step out of a shell. Don't let the world tell you who you have to be. You be you. If you're into something different, explore it. Find someone that you can enjoy life with. That's what the survey is for. It's for empowering people to be who they want to be, to do what they want to do, as long as it's consensual. And we talk about that, the need for it to be consensual, the need for the understanding. And you guys can find this, of course, by going to www.barbaraunleashed.com, and of course on our site, indieadvocates.com, under our crowdfunding icon at the top of the page. But again, this is all about just empowering people to be who they are. And in 2020, I'm still being threatened. I'm being threatened for being a voice for people. I've had a creator threaten to call Child Protective Services on me because I dare have a thing that says, this is it. This is the where they got, as the kids say, butt hurt. Because I dare to wear a t-shirt or have a banner that says free hugs and spanks. That's the world we live in. People still trying to tell other people how to live. I don't know what else to say about that, honestly. It is very, very upsetting. Very, very upsetting. And I'm going to leave it at that. Because if I keep talking about it, I'm going to call the creator out by name so no one ever deals with them again. And the only reason I haven't probably done that is because it would make me look poorly. Because, of course, it's okay to beat on me. But if I try to defend myself, then I'm the bad guy. And that's just the world we live in. And it's with anything, any subculture. We get beat up for being something that's not the same, for not following in line. But ultimately, a lot of people go home and they want to do this stuff. They want to do it. And they want to feel comfortable with it. And I think a lot of people are intimidated by anyone who's not, for lack of a better term, just not stuck in that I have to be a certain way. And I don't feel that need. I don't feel like I have to be anything but myself. And I'm very happy with feeling that way. So, and I hope you feel that way. I hope you do, honestly, whatever you feel like you have to. If you consider yourself my friend, no, you don't have to back this book. We do have in here, and I wanted to show this, a couple rewards that are for people who aren't into fetish. Because I understand that. I don't need you guys to be converted. There's a joke when I go on the show for Varian in the Indie Vault where I have a fetish agenda. The truth is I really don't. I just want you guys to respect people. If you can tell me, listen, Rob, I'm not into what you are. I appreciate what you do and I respect people, but it's just not for me, then we're done. You're good. You're fine with me. But if you're someone who doesn't respect other people's ability to make choices as an adult for consensual acts between other adults, me and you have issue. And I love the people who do a review on my book without reading it. You guys are fantastic. But here we go. The Advocator, you can get all 3 Advocators for $10. The Advocator has a little bit of Barbara, but it doesn't have anything to do with fetish or anything like that. So if you're vanilla, but you want to support me, it's there. We have the Angelic Copy, which is, of course, the award-winning Cat Dad and Supermom. Of course, I don't put that on this page, not because I'm ashamed, just because other people will try to... People are just shitty. Let's just be honest. There's shitty people out there who will do anything they can to make something it's not. So I can't put it on the site, but I can tell you guys. So if you like that kid's book, if you want an award-winning, the Independent Creator Awards, winner of IP of the Year for 2019, Cat Dad and Supermom's not only available in PDF, but a special Angelic printed, just $11. That's a over 50-page book you guys can get for just $11. It has the origin of Jax. Very proud of that. I'm blown away that we won the award. And then that's it. That's the end of the segment where I'd normally be interviewing someone and I'd say, "Are you ready?" And then we'd go over the rules. Now, we went over the rules at the beginning, but I know a few people came in late, so we're going to do it again real quick just to remind the viewers at home what we got going on here. And I'm going to cough, so give me a second. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm just going to pop my beautiful face up there. Who wants to play? So what is Kickstarter Pause? Well, it is when a guest sits down, and I'm that guest, to watch all the crowdfunding videos that we are advocating for. And hits pause on the video. Remember, we're doing this for pause. Pause on the video when their interest is lost. Full disclosure, I have ADHD. This is probably going to go very badly for some people. I apologize. Understand. Squirrel. This way, this is a fun way to teach creators about attention spans. Remember, very small attention span. And what works and what does not work. And we always have the creator up there so you can see the look on their face, because I think that's important. And what does not work on their videos. Now, you might see me look down at points. You might see me clicking. I'm still answering questions. I'm doing it all because I'm the guest on top of everything else. So I am paying attention, I promise. I'm just doing some other things too. Like right now, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to turn on my fan. I'm getting hot. Getting hot. It's Florida. It's warm down here. It's like 80 degrees outside. Whenever I close my door, it becomes like a sauna in here. I don't know why. If it was a winter, it'd be great, but I think there's just poor circulation. All right, so this is going to be the beginning of our show. Remember, when I go like this, I'm going to pause the video, and let's start. This is Grayscale. Welcome to Glitter City. All right, I already lost it. I already lost. If I wanted to read, I would just go to your page. This is a way to invite me. What I'm seeing in here is uncolored stuff. This looks like it's still in the beginning phases. It looks like you're trying to sell me on something that's not ready to go yet. Because this is a lot of more imagery. So, and I'm not getting anything. I'm bored. Nothing against the creator. It's just that's honestly one of my attention span. I let it go a few seconds longer because I was trying to figure out how to put my camera back up here. So in all fairness, you would have lost me within 3 seconds. Honestly, that's how quickly my attention span for something like that is lost. Especially with this all fancy, trying to be Hollywood nonsense. I want to know what your Kickstarter is. I want to know who you are. I want to see the excitement about your creation. You're talking about your brand new baby. You know, this is your child for all intents and purposes as a creator, and you're giving birth. And yes, you can see the devil horns right there. For those who've been to my table in the past, you know those who've been there. They got retired in 2019. We're moving away from props on the table. It did sound like the X-Men cartoon. Jonathan, I actually had to look it up. Jonathan says, and I have it open today so I can see all of these because I'm doing so much at once. It definitely did sound like the X-Men cartoon. You know, I had to actually Shazam it to make sure it wasn't, as a matter of fact. Look, I don't know if it gets better, the video, because I don't think anyone's made it through the whole video, and if they had, I honestly stopped paying attention. when I was doing the show in the background, because it just, honestly, it bores me. I'm sorry. It sounds interesting, but it's also glitter. Glitter's not something that I am a big fan of. So you've lost me. I'm sorry, my friend Eugene. You just lost me. All right, so if you're not going to do a video, we'll give him a look, because I'm a nice guy. We'll pop him open. We'll see, maybe there is an actual video. Nope, still no video. So no love on the show beyond giving him a shout out. So this is 2001 AD Volume 1, Issue 1 and 2, sci-fi comic, The Rise of Artificial Intelligence, Destruction and Dystopian Future, Tech Punk, 48 pages. So here's the Meet the Unusuals, and I'm part of this. I was brought on to actually write this project. It is not something I created, which is different. It is so weird when you're working with someone else and it's not your toys necessarily, or your creations, I should say. So this was interesting, but I enjoyed my time. Of course, this is the creator I brought monsters to life with. So let's take a look at this video. Now, mind you, I'm going to be a little bit biased on this because, of course, this is something I worked on, so I'm going to be more interested in it. So, just being honest.
Hello there, and welcome to my Kickstarter page. My name is Claudio Gerardo. I go by C. Gerardo. I am a graduate of the Joe Cooper School of Cartoon and Graphic Art, Inc. Shortly after graduating, I began working as a freelance illustrator, and then started having gallery exhibitions of my paintings. A couple years ago, I got back into comics, and I began doing an experimental webcomic I called Untitled. During that time, Untitled got a lot of favorable reviews. I also began contributing to some anthologies. The most notable one is the 27 Club by Red Steel Media. And in 2016, the 27 Club got a Harvey Award nomination for Best Anthology. I'm coming to you because I'm asking for your support to publish my comic, Meet the Unusuals. Meet the Unusuals is an experimental surrealistic adventure comic with a color cover, but it will be published in black and white. I came up with the idea, the characters, and the concept, and I teamed up with Mr. Andersin, who wrote the story and fleshed out the characters to give more depth. Mr. Andersin, or Rob Andersin, is the creator and writer of And They Call Us Monsters, in which I'm the artist of. Mr. Andersin also publishes Written Since Comics and has a website called Indie Advocates, which helps advocate for independent creators. The story starts with a narration by Harrison Ripley, who happens to be the grandson of Robert L. Ripley, famous for Ripley's Believe It or Not. He tells a story how Robert Ripley fathered a child.
Now, just for the record, when I wrote it, I never actually mentioned who this was. Again, it wasn't my idea, but I wouldn't use Ripley because I know it's trademarked. So Ripley's not, I don't think we actually ever, in my script, the one I wrote, we didn't mention Ripley. It always plays around. We use the name Ripley, but we don't mention who it is. It's a lot of jokes like, you wouldn't believe it or not, who the grandfather is. So I just wanted that to be known. This is not an official endorsed thing, as it were.
That child went to America. He eventually got married and had his own child. And the child, Harrison Ripley, became an adventurer and treasure hunter. And he got stranded on a deserted island where he met an unusual dog.
I love the dog.
Now, the premise of the story basically
one of my favorite characters.
What if ordinary people had unusual abilities? But we're not talking about somebody getting superpowers, making themselves a costume, giving themselves a superhero name, and due to marketing, they don't die, or if they do die, they become resurrected. We try to keep the story more grounded in reality. So there are no superhero costumes, there are no superhero names. The ages of the characters range from 26 to 53, and if they die, they die. So
That's
as
true.
Harrison continues telling his story,
that point.
he tells about how he meets these unusual people. And these people and Harrison are then thrusted in a situation where they are forced to, literally, save the world. In a way, you could say that this is a combination of Doom Patrol and the X-Men. I printed this comic myself, but I realized later that I'm short in funds. And The $1,000 is to help cover half of my printing costs and to pay the editor, Chuck Benoit, who also happens to be the editor for And They Call Us Monsters. Anything extra that I make will be used to pay either for a top-notch letter or to go with a higher quality of print for the comic. But at this point, all I'm looking at is $1,000. I am also willing to do commission work, whether it's black and white or paintings.
All right. So at that point, when you're doing the add-ons, honestly, even in this video, I'm already bored by it because I could see the add-ons other places. I personally would like to believe that I would check this out even if I weren't behind it. Of course, again, a little biased. I am behind it. I am the writer of it. So let's move on to something from Terry Crorin. And if you guys see me clicking, I'm leaving the links for you guys in the actual chat, so you guys can go to these particular projects. And this is the healing. So let's check this out. Oops. Let's try that again.
Imagine a cult is taking over the country.
Now it sounds like the
And
Flash.
the mind-numbed automatons who are members of this cult follow an incredibly charismatic leader who wears a mask. They promise to have the solution to all your problems and that they will make you whole. They call themselves The Healing. The Healing is really a comic book project that is our love letter to the superhero genre. We've assembled some of the strongest independent voices and truly legendary comic book artists to tell this amazing story of 5 unusual and unforgettable heroes who must stop the insidious plans of the Healing. Now is your chance to help us tell this fabulous story. You have an opportunity to enjoy a totally new adventure from the very beginning. By sponsoring us on Kickstarter, you get in on the ground floor and can pre-order this book in a variety of collectible formats. We certainly appreciate your support and consideration. Click the link below to join our Kickstarter campaign.
I'll be honest, he almost got the pause just because of how slow he talks. That tells you about my attention span. But I like it. It has good pace, good music. I think this is a standard bearer. You could actually watch this video and look at. I don't need the beginning again. That very beginning, this stuff, I don't need that. That doesn't impress me. Not at all.
Imagine a cult is
and I'm sure that's just advertising that they are required to have in the video for the people who actually make the video. But still, it's already, I'm already annoyed. Because a lot of times some of these people go on too long. Credit to them, that was livable. I did not mind that. One of the things I don't mind is when people are talking great about New York. So let's see what's going on with New York now. I love New York. I grew up in New York. It's always going to be my hometown. Anywhere else I live will always be my adopted home. And they begrudgingly adopt me, trust me. New York versus the World, number 2.
What's up, folks? My name is JD, and I want to thank you for joining me on the launch of my latest Kickstarter project, New York versus the World, number 2. It's a 24-page black and white comic book based around the zombie apocalypse here in New York City. You know, you always hear stories, or at least I always hear stories, about how when the zombie apocalypse happens, everybody in New York is toast. No. I'm sorry, that's garbage. First thing New Yorkers are going to do is they're going to blow the bridges and they're going to flood the tunnels. It's going to take them 15 years to clean out the city, and that's where our story starts. How are these people who were here cleaning out all the dead, all the corpses, going to treat the people who are coming to look for a safe place for them and their family? This is a 24-page black and white comic book written by me, illustrated by Craig Shepard, and colors on the cover for right now by Michael Summers. You're also going to have little incentives in our rewards, like brand new t-shirts that say New York versus the World, or pint glasses. Some people like to call them championship shot glasses, but let's call them pint glasses right now, branded with the New York versus the World logo on the mug. I hope you join us, and if these are your bag.
Again, we went to selling products. That just bores me. I think it's cute. I would definitely check the campaign out. The one thing I didn't like about this video, and it's always bothered me, and no one else has ever called this out, so maybe it's just a me thing, because this has been on for a while now. Why wasn't there a discussion about why this is issue number 2? What happened in issue number 1? What did I miss? Do I need issue number 1? Whenever you're in issue number 2, the story continues. Like, is this the one where they tell me what happened? Do I need issue number 1? I just wish that was touched on. I know it's a shorter video, so you can't get it all in, but I think anytime you're talking about it, issue number 2, you have to kind of touch on this is a continued story. Because sometimes an issue number 1 isn't necessary for issue number 2, but a lot of times it is very necessary. So I need to know that right away. Is this something I have to invest in for 2 issues? All right, so here we go. This is Genesis, the comic book issue number 1. Now I wanted to give a shout out to Jonathan Hendrick, whose Kickstarter Freak Show Princess starts on the 3rd next week. We're going to see that at the bottom of the show when we're talking about what's coming. And yes, we're going to keep to the 1-hour format, but we started about 15 minutes late, so we have plenty of time to get everything in, I think, today. I also cut my interview shorter because I can't stand hearing myself talk too much. So Jonathan Hendricks said, the quality of this video is impressive, but the Marvel Studios opening is getting old. And I agree with Jonathan. One person does it right, and then all of a sudden everyone wants to be them instead of being themselves. Marvel didn't take that from anyone. They made it. You go out and make your own thing. Stop trying to be a poser, man. Do something original. I do like the rest of it, though, and I do think certain camera techniques are always going to work, but that Marvel opening stuff's got to stop being stolen. Jonathan says, thank you, you're welcome, and Jason, you told me how to say it, Jason. I know you did. Jason Dubé? I'm wrong, aren't I? I'm sorry, Jason, I tried. In our comments, Jason said, I just popped on to watch and didn't know you were going to Spotlight Genesis. Thank you. What a good time. So now you get to see what I think of it, actually. So no pressure, Jason. Remember to send all the hate mail to my email. Luckily, I've seen this one before, so we'll see where my attention span takes us. Whoops. This always blows up on every one of the shows. I don't know why. Your video always pops up on us. I think it's something with the YouTube encoding. I think we had this problem last week, too. There it goes. Got it.
My name is Genesis. I've been a teenage girl since the beginning of time. Yeah, and do you think you have problems? It is my sworn duty to the heavens to observe and only observe the history of humanity's time on Earth. But there are times I feel I can no longer just watch. Help me. Help me. This is one of those moments. I own you.
All right. So that's Jason Dubé. Not Dubé, but Dubé. And, all right. Well, a lot of the people who've been on the shows were always kind of complaining, well, I don't know a lot about the story. This didn't give me a lot. I have a great understanding that this is the hook. And if this is the hook to get me to read more about it, I'm definitely going to the page. The only thing I don't like is that it's on Indiegogo. I always have so much trouble setting up Indiegogo. It never lets me into my account. I hate Indiegogo. I think it's got some great stuff. It's nothing against anyone who goes on Indiegogo. I just have trouble signing up for it, and it locks me out. Like right now, I have to do a password reset, or I would have backed this book already, and I have to keep that in mind because this is about to end on Tuesday, March 1st, which Tuesday is not March 1st, so something's clearly wrong with that. March 1st, I believe, is Sunday, isn't it? I actually have a thing in front of me. Yeah, it's Sunday. So, Jason, if you're still there, are we going off on Sunday or Monday, just so people know? And I do want to try to fix my, yeah, I don't know. I've always had problems with Indiegogo. It just could be a me thing. You know how certain things in your life, just for you, you wind up not being able to get them to work right for you? Indiegogo's been that. I've always had trouble with my logins. and 4 days left. Okay, so we have 4 days left, according to Jason. I don't know. I don't know what it is, and I'm even having trouble with Kickstarter lately with my charge card apparently being a fraud risk, or Kickstarter being a fraud risk for Kickstarter, and it's telling me that it went through, and then apparently it didn't go through. I don't know. I'm not doing well right now. Apparently, with crowdfunding, but do me a favor, Jason. If you don't see me jump on it by Sunday, no, Saturday, send me a personal message and go, hey, Rob, you told me to remind you that you wanted to back this. So I'm waiting for the password reset, actually. I should send it again. That's another problem. When I ask for a password reset, they don't send it to me right away. I'm just frustrated. That's not going well for me. But I do want this. This looks great. I first time I saw this, I was like, here's another standard bearer. It gets my interest. It doesn't waste my time. And it shows that the creator is creative because they did this creative video. So actually, I really like that. Crowdfunders are glitching you because you're too awesome. I wish that were true. But I have an ex-wife that will assure you that's not. All right. But thanks for the smile. Angel of Sad Hill. We had Peterson on the show last week. Great creator. I'm happy to say that he reached his funding goal right after the show went off the air. So thank you guys. You clearly were somewhat behind that. I appreciate you being there. And it's not praise, it's honesty, my friend. Jason said thank you for the nice praise, but it's not. It's just honesty. Trust me. Stick around long enough, you'll see. It's not all nice, but one of the things that's going to be nice is watching Peterson's video. So let's get to that. And we have I want to make sure we have it in our chat room. So I'm going to drop the link again for our Genesis book. And don't be like me. Write down your password for Indiegogo and back this amazing project today. So this is Angel of Sad Hill. We're going to make sure we're framing it right. And here we go.
Hello, my name is Peterson, and I am the creator, writer, and artist of The Angel of Sad Hill. It's a comic book project that I'm doing with a couple of friends, and I'm taking it to Kickstarter to raise some funds. A little bit about myself. I've been drawing since I was 4 years old, and I never stopped drawing. I went to the Kubert School. I graduated there in 2016, and I've had this project in my head ever since then. And it's kind of like a dream come true to bring it to life and see it colored and see people's reaction to it and the excitement that is coming from all over. The comic itself, it's called The Angel of Sad Hill. It takes place in Brazil, where I'm from, and it's a very action-packed spiritual thriller. And I'm using the superhero genre, so it's very cool. It's in the veins of Iron Man meets City of God, very fast paced. But I'm also dealing with things like sobriety, like the main character has to fight and protect his neighborhood, but also keep his sobriety. So he's walking a very tightrope. So there's a lot of stories that I want to tell with this comic. And I think it's a very entertaining one, and I think you guys are going to love it. So the funds from this campaign is going to be split in two. The first half is going to go towards printing, and then the second half is going to go towards the second issue. So you're going to help fund that issue that I'm already inking right now. It's written, and I'm inking.
Now we're right at the end, so I'll let it play, but right there I've tapped that.
It's going to get colored. And I think that's it. And I hope to see you guys and hear back from you guys. Thank you ahead of time for your support. Have a good one.
Okay. The reason I tapped out at that point is because we're starting to talk about rewards again. My attention span's gone. You could tell that he has a kind of nervousness about being on camera, and that's just new. That's when you're brand new. I don't mind that in videos, actually. I don't mind if they're not professionally, done by a director and a crew. None of that bothers me. This is a solid video. I really liked it, and I told him last week I really liked it. I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, he tells the story. He can be a little bit quicker paced, but that's my ADHD and me wanting to run faster. One of the first things I had to learn when I first started doing these videos was I was always talking so fast, and I was going like, okay, let's get this done. And I always felt like I had to get it done, so I was talking very quickly. And people were like, slow down, Rob. We can't understand you. So sometimes you do have to slow down. And I'm just the Energizer Bunny in my head. Bang, 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 going, going, going. So let's read some comments. Personally, I like videos that have creators in it, said Jonathan Hedrick. I agree. I actually agree. I do like it when the creator shows up. If you're not going to show up, make it entertaining for me. And make me go seek out who you are. Because if you entertain me, I'll try to figure out who you are then. So I want to remember you. And a lot of times I want to reach out to you, see if I can help you more. Jason Dubé, so I'm still trying to say Dubé. Dubé says, I will keep that in mind to Jonathan. All right, so Angel of Sad Hills, definitely something you guys got to check out. Let's go over, let's see where because he was on last week. Let's see how he's doing this week. I'm going to go over to the screen capture so you guys can quickly see it. And there we go. 61 backers, not bad, man. Good stuff. 3,260 in the bank. 4 days to go. Plenty of time to get some more. All right, so let's go back over here. So he's doing well. I'm glad to see the success. For those who don't know, just for full transparency, we get together and we have a little community down here in Southwest Florida of creators who get together. And I'm proud to call him a friend and a co-creator, and I'm looking forward to our next meetup. So speaking of, this is brand new. Now, mind you, a lot of these projects are ending very quickly. This one's all the beginning, it seemed like there was this huge jump on where everyone within a week went live. So a lot of these are going to be gone before next week's show. I think this will just barely make the show, depending on the time that it goes live. No, it won't make it. So this won't even be on the show next week. Oh, no, 11:59, and it will. If it was AM, it wouldn't. So we're just getting this now. It's from Ben Lacey. Let's check it out. All right, I did hit the pause.
Hello, my name is Ben Lacey.
Hold on.
I hope you enjoyed that preview of issue 1 of Shark of War. There's a lot more action in the comic book, and in the 4 issues that will follow that make up the complete story. I first got the idea for this comic after watching yet another not-so-great shark movie. I thought maybe I could do something different and better. This time the shark isn't the bad guy, and he's not limited by the water either. My shark can strike from anywhere. No tornadoes required. My project is 100% complete. I'm only coming to Kickstarter to get the word out and to fund printing and shipping costs to get this book into the hands of as many readers as possible. I have a lot of cool bonuses beside the book for this Kickstarter, including variant covers, prints, and a brand.
All right, I can check the campaign for all that. You can make a different awards video. I was about to tap out, I'll be honest. I did put up the fingers, then I saw the flying shark and it got me. I think what kept me in it was the good music and how quick-paced it was. It was a little too quick at one moment and then a little slow at another. But it kept me engaged. I'd look more into it, honestly. So credit to them. They kept my attention span going. So we're going to move on to Naughty by Nature now. Being the guy who makes a fetish book, you'd be surprised how often I feel like sex is overused in comics. So I don't get a lot of the quote-unquote sexy books because I feel like a lot of times I know that they're just doing it to sell a comic. I want a good story, so let's see how I feel about this.
Hey guys, welcome to the Naughty by Nature Kickstarter. First of all, let me thank you guys for taking the time and checking us.
Oh, real quick, the reason I clapped in the last video, I just realized I didn't mention it, was because he actually talked about the fact that he wasn't expecting people to pay for his art. I really appreciated that. He just wants printing costs, and I think that's kind of cool. A lot of creators come to you to pay the entire bill. It's not really crowdfunding, it's you making a comic for them. And I know that's somewhat crowdfunding, but I like creators who don't necessarily expect you to pay for everything to get the books made. So that's why I clap. That's just a personal thing.
I know there's a lot of campaigns out there, so I appreciate you giving us a look. Now, on to the book. Naughty by Nature is a one-shot special, 24 brand new pages of story and art, written by myself with art by Ron Williams, finishes by Jacob Bear, and colors by Anthony George. This is a beautiful book. We're super proud of it here at Counterpoint. I think you guys will dig it once you have it in your hands. Now, what you guys have come to expect from Counterpoint Comics, beautiful covers. And this book provides them in droves.
Okay. I don't know anything about the story. He had, what was it?
First of all,
I'm trying to see how many seconds he had. I think he already had 30 seconds. So 30 seconds, all you've told me about is you thanked me for showing up to watch it, and then you talked about you and not about your product, and then about the quality of the product. And I feel like I have to know you, and if I don't know you, I'm not invited. So that's how you made me feel in this. You made me feel like I wasn't invited to this one because I don't know who you are. And if I don't know who you are and what you're working on, you telling me the quality I expect, and I don't expect anything from you. You're new. So I feel like this video wasn't made for me. If I wanted to know more about the project, I would go to the page. And since we're bringing it, it's my show, and I'm the guest today, and I have full control. We're actually going to go look at it, and we're going to see, because I mentioned the sexuality thing. So let's take a look at it. And made $30,000, so they're doing something right. And I'm shutting my mouth. This is solid interiors, some stretch goals. Again, some naughty things. And it's just a list of how to get the girls naked or naked covers for them. Looks like there's 1,000 covers for this book. And I'm being facetious, of course, but I'm being honest with you guys what I see. So this, again, I haven't seen anything that draws my attention. All you've shown me is how hot a girl can look when she's drawn and naked. You need more than that to get me interested in something. I'm not 13 anymore, and even when I was 13, I'd rather a story. So here, we're going to read it because now I'm curious. A serial killer is on the loose, but no one even knows he exists except Naughty, our super sexy sleuth. Sleuth, not slut. Get your minds out of the gutters. Naughty is on the case. Not only will she find him, but she will extract her own brand. I don't know if extract is the right word there. Enact her own brand of justice might have been the better word for that. No. And I have a feeling this is from something else. Because they say naughty and nice down here. I'm very confused by this. Again, I don't feel like I was invited to this. And they made $30,000 with 300 backers. So what do I know? You saw my Kickstarter. I made $151. So they're doing something much better than me. But for someone who's brand new, I was not invited to this. This is not for me. I don't feel invited. They didn't do a lot over here. The creative team, I would have liked to see some pictures. There's so many cover artists in here. To me, it just feels like a cash grab. You say your character's not a slut, and then everything about this makes me feel like you are making her a slut. Like, this is a choice. You are, and own it. You know, talk about, like, I wouldn't say my character's not a slut. I'd be like, she is, what is the term, about confident with sexuality? Well, we'll just go with that. She's confident with her sexuality. She's confident with her looks. And again, this can make $30,000, but if you try to talk about fetish seriously, you get shunned. But if you chase a serial killer in a bikini or a lingerie, you're fine. And again, they made plenty of money, so I'm not trying to hurt them. Quality art cannot fight the fact that this is some good art, but it's definitely not geared to me. This is not something that would appeal to me, and I would be willing to read the book to see if I'm wrong. And I definitely think the character's hot, so there's definitely that interest in, well, who is she? But when I see things like this, first, how does this underwear even work? I'm not even, like, who made that up? That just throws me. And I might spend too much time looking at lingerie for my book, and I try to get the lingerie actually to be legitimate when we are doing things like that. Like over here, this outfit and her boobs going like cross-eyed the wrong way, like opposite cross-eyed, like wide, I guess. That's just weird to me. But then there's some solid covers here. You got to give them credit, man. See, that one I think is funny. This is kind of funny. I dig that, where she's got the tattoos. I do like the tattoo look. The motorcycle one I think could have been done better, but I still like it. The high ponytail and all that. So there's some good covers here. Not a fan of this one. No offense, just it's the gun thing. Like, I don't know why she has guns suddenly if she's a sword chick. That reminds me of Betty Page. That instantly makes me think of Betty Page. I kind of dig that. And, my buddy's calling. Oh, I think he ruined... Oh, no, there we go. All right. Yeah, so, I don't know. Just not for me. Sorry. But you don't need me. You're doing fantastic without me, guys. But I definitely am all for them making what they want, and supporting them, and putting them out here, and advocating for them. So we'll give that in there. All right, we got about 12 minutes before the show's over. We got the scientist up next.
12 student prodigies. 1 national science.
Okay, that noise already makes me want to stop. Jeff's a friend. Because he's a friend, I'm going to let it play a little bit more. Because he's a friend. If he wasn't a friend, it's just someone I would have already lost interest. I don't like that distortion sound. You're trying to win me over, not piss me off, and that sound pisses me off. Maybe it's just me. It could be I'm a delicate flower. I'm okay with being a delicate flower, but it does bother me. So let's see what we got. Hopefully.
No chance of survival. The experiment has begun.
Nope, can't do it. The noise is just too annoying. It's already turned me off. Want nothing to do with it now. And again, that could just be me. You're trying to invite me. I'm surprised because, to Jeff's credit, he did some really good videos the first couple times he did this. And I don't know. I'm not a fan of that one. It's nothing against him. I know he's worked really hard on this. And I would give his thing a look, but we'd spend a lot of time on Naughty and Nice. Maybe in the next couple weeks we'll try to look at his Kickstarter a little bit more. I can't get past that noise. That noise annoys me very, very much so. It's just maybe a me thing again, but I can't do it. And I'm being honest here, and he's someone I consider a friend, so you can see my friends don't get passes. I mean, I did let him get a second try, but nope. Let's see what Martin's up to, and Martin's a friend too, and this is From Blood, Chapter 1 and 2.
Hello, I'm Martin Piero, and I'm here to talk to you about the Kickstarter for From Blood, Chapter 2. In Chapter 1, we were introduced to Patient 27, an inmate of the Grove Mental Institute, locked away for over a decade with no clue of who he is or where he came from. He is a hulking, silent, indestructible monster of a man with incredible strength. New to the Institute, Dr. Reese forms a unique bond with Patient 27, and when things go from bad to worse, the two escape in the chaos. Unbeknownst to them, they are pursued, and an attempt is made on their lives. Exciting stuff. But now, with Chapter 2, the mystery of Patient 27 begins to unfold. Separated, Patient 27 is taken into custody by a mysterious organization looking to use his powers for their own dark deeds. Meanwhile, Dr. Reese finds herself in the care of a man from 27's past. But is he friend or foe? We'll just have to back the campaign to find out. From Blood, Chapter 2 takes all the action and excitement of the first chapter and ramps it up to 11. It's a suspenseful page-turner that continues the themes and mysteries of the first chapter, while leaving the reader on the edge of their seat. All of the work on this exciting middle chapter of the From Blood saga is 100% complete. The book is done, ready to be sent to the printer, so we're seeking funding to print the book, distribute it, and ship it. That's it. We've set a low goal. We've also given ourselves a short amount of time, just 2 weeks to fund this project, so we sure could use your help. Time is of the essence. We've put together some great reward tiers that I think will appeal to everyone. You can get just Chapter 2.
Again, if I want rewards, I go to the campaign page, and that's just a personal thing. I think it was a good video. Martin could have just spoke a little faster for my liking, but never once did I think about turning it off. I was just, again, the Energizer Bunny wanted to go faster. So, otherwise, yeah, I dig it. It's cool. I didn't get to read the first one. I did back it. That's on my to-do. Just didn't get there. But yeah, Martin's doing good jobs. I like Martin. Got good speaking voice. I think he had rehearsed it more. I feel like he would have nailed it better. I think that he didn't rehearse it. And you have to. For those who watch me make the videos, you see how many times you flub sometimes. But otherwise, it's a solid thing. The only reason I turned it off is because, again, I have an attention span of a flea. All right, so we're running a little on time. I think we'll be able to get in 2 more. This is Aaron and the Book of Lalaxia. See right there, that I'm already bored because you're making me read something that I don't care. And now it's annoying me because I don't know if it's playing or not. Like, how long could that thing ran that long? And again, more ads. Still ads.
War has come to Nexus.
All right, it took us 20 seconds to get anywhere. That's unacceptable.
It wasn't always like this. They said there used to be peace between the families. But they say power begets power. And for eons, all the families wanted to be on the throne of Titan. They tried to kill my brother. They tried to kill me. And I forgave them. Wars are fought over power. Out of prejudice, out of fear, out of love. What does it take to stop wars once and for all? What needs to be...
All right, the art doesn't seem to line up with what they're saying. I'm going to let it play for a little bit because there's not much more. But I'm already... the beginning annoyed me, so I'm trying to be fair about it. Give me 20 seconds till you start something. But this is where I think as a human being I would have tapped out. It's got beautiful art. That keeps me in it. But I'm not learning a lot. And it's honestly, I feel like I'm spinning my wheels.
Sacrificed. Who's willing to do that? My name is Demos Lalaxia. There will be peace.
And that end, that's rough art. After you show all that good art, that's a bad art to end on just because you wanted to animate it. It's got great art, though. It definitely has great art. I'd probably check out the page. It would probably get me enough, like, as a consumer, to maybe look more into it. But the fact that it's another issue number 3, we don't talk about the past, we don't talk about the connection to it. I think it's too much trailer, not enough information for me. And I'm telling you, man, just the fact that it takes 20 seconds to get to a video, honestly, I think I would have clicked off immediately and just gone. If I weren't doing this show, that's my instinct. Like when I put up those paws, I was like, yeah, I'm being serious. I should play my own video again, but I'm not going to. I'm not that type of person. We covered this. I don't expect you to back it unless you find value in what I'm doing. And remember, before you can play, you have to understand. Take the BDSM survey and be ready to play. If you like it, check it out at barbaraunleashed.com. Check it out on here. And we're going to move on, and we're going to give someone else a try. Oh, we're going to get Austin Janowansky, who showed up early in the program. We're going to be able to get his thing in. So here we are. Zombies, We Are Human 2, Volume 2. It's probably going to be the last thing, then we'll rush through the rest.
Hi, I'm Austin Janowski, the writer and creator of the comic book series Zombies Were Human Too, telling zombie stories before and how they became zombies. And this is the Kickstarter for Volume 2 of that series. We did a Volume 1 last year, which we had successfully funded on Kickstarter, and now we're here for Volume 2. So if you're not familiar with Volume 1, I think I have a clip of the video from last year. Let me just get that. I'll play that for you so you can get all caught up, and I will see you right back here in a minute.
So the idea behind Zombies Were Human 2 is you have 3 kids that are out foraging for food, and they get spooked by zombies. So to escape them, they run into this old abandoned warehouse where the youngest of the 3 is freaking out. So to calm him down, the older 2 look out and start picking out zombies that they take, making up funny stories about them, who they were at the outbreak, how long they lasted, and how they died in a very funny way.
Oh, good, you're back. So, now that we're all caught up, where exactly are we with Volume 2? Right where we left off with Volume 1. So the kids are able to escape from the one building to the next building via a ladder that they found on the roof. From there, they try to escape through the building down to the bottom floor and out. Unfortunately, it's now become infested with zombies. So as they're trying to get their way down, they are forced yet again into a situation where they have to save themselves, and they find a storage cellar, which turns out to be a safe room. So it's like, yay, we escaped from one building, and now we're trapped in a cellar. And yes, it is a safe room, but Juan isn't exactly feeling very safe and starts panicking again. So now the older 2, Chris and Stephanie, have to try to make up more stories to calm him down. But the bigger question is, whose safe room is it? And are they going to come back? So for Volume 2, it's another 100-page graphic novel. Color for the main stories, black and white for the zombies. And we have got a great selection of creators for this one, too.
Again, just because we're going into the sales pitch, I never sit through that. I like the video. If I looked impatient, it's just we're running out of time on the show. I actually dig the video, so I think he did a good job. Nothing against it. We're running tight on time, so I want to get the rest of it out as much as I can for you guys. So we're going to wrap up the show now. Be sure to check out also, you don't need to see me for this, Dynamite Thor, the Dust County Chronicles, which we'll hopefully get on the show next week, so we have a lot of things going. Celebrity Ghost Hunters, The Legacy of the View, The Dude is on Indiegogo, and Sunspot. Remember that $1 can make dreams come true. Show support, track attention, help fund projects, support creators, and create new worlds. And if you're creating a new world that you're in a Kickstarter, go to Amazon and get Kickstarter for the Independent Creator, created by Madeline Holly Rising and Christy Shannon. Coming to Kickstarter soon on the 27th, Sam Johnson gets Geek Girl back in our hands. We're going to get some steak next week on the 3rd, along with the Freak Show Princess with our good friend Jonathan Hendrick. And we should have had this on the show. I have not been reached out yet. I figure we'll have it next week. The Highland brand Valkyrie. I think that's going live some point today. In previews this month, you'll see Tinseltown, and that's going to have the Losing the Light #1. And if you pre-order it now, there's a 10-page free preview. Don't know where the free preview was, to be honest with you. We got put it on our site, and I never got answered. I really should reach out to David. But that's it. We're out of time. Thank you for being part of the show. You can find me at the indieadvocate.com, indieadvocates.com. Those are 2 different ones, actually. The Indie Advocate talks about things that are more specific to advocating. Indie Advocates supports anything. You can join us at our group at the Indie Advocates group on Facebook. We'll get your stuff on our site. We'll promote it. We'll share it. And if you put a Kickstarter there, it instantly becomes on this show. And you can find my personal work at the indiedevil.com or mrandersin.com. And make sure you're showing some support for my survey and giving me some love. You don't have to back it. You don't have to share it. I know a book like this can get people in trouble for sharing it. That's why I never ask my friends for it. If this is something interesting to you, please show up. Take advantage of it. be part of it. Otherwise, don't worry. I'm not going to get feelings hurt. The only time you can hurt my feelings if you report it, and then, that'll probably affect our friendship. I'll be honest with you, because you're kind of a douchebag, and I don't like being friends with douchebags. You don't have to like it, but you don't have to report it either. That's a douchey thing to do. So be cool. If you don't like what you see, cool. Respect it and let other people have their lane. Don't try to block their lane because you don't agree with something or you have problems with your own sexuality. Just saying. Shots fired. The devil's in a mood. That's it, guys. Thanks for showing up. This has been a great day today, hanging out with you guys. Thanks for being part of the first official Kickstarter Talk Pause, powered by the Crowdfunding Report.